Hi and welcome to my Playhouse. And today I have a little project. I have something that has broken. A couple of years ago I purchased a power station, the cheapest one available on Amazon, and I did a video and that did really well, that video, getting the cheapest power station on Amazon. I did try and take it apart in a video and failed spectacularly. I couldn't figure out how to take it apart. Mostly because I didn't want to break it. It was working perfectly well, and well, I don't like breaking stuff that, well, there's the saying, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. And I was just wondering what it looked like inside, and when I couldn't take it apart, I gave up on it. But now I had it in the bunker outside, my little tank bunker thing, and it got humidity down there. It worked when I took it out of there, but then I wanted to clean it up and charge it, and it stopped working. So it's right here on the table here. There it is, and dead as a doornail. And when I plugged in something to try and charge it, it looks like it might be shorted, that no power is going into it, and the solar panels that I put in was, well, they weren't doing anything. So I was starting to take it apart, taking off the side panels of it with these screws, easy enough, both of them. The other one is over here, that has the flashlight on it, so that disconnects with a little wire, awesome enough. But then I couldn't get any further, well, in the last video. This time, when it's not working, I am not as delicate. So I took this thing off, and they don't want you to get into this. They have clipped it on with so many little plastic thingies that, well, you break it when you take it apart. Look at those. Maybe it could be done, taking it apart without breaking it. I could not. So many of these is broken. And there's a bunch of tiny little screws along the way here, so I thought this might become interesting. So I think we started doing a video on it. So cheapest power station on Amazon, and this is a no-name. It's it can do 600 watts pure sine wave. I actually tested that. It could not run my 600 watt tiling cutter, but other stuff nearly 600 watts. 500 watts it was able to run. It might be ever so slightly over advertised, or my tiling cutter has a weird way of starting up. So yeah, let's we can kind of see the battery in here. I did also remove some screws that holds the battery in place. So now it's oh, I can't really, it doesn't really wrangle with one hand. When I put it upside down, it makes a sound. So let's continue disassembling. Let's see if I can figure out what happened in here, or if it's just wasted because of humidity. I think I can put the big crowbar out of the way. So we have a lot of tiny screws along the top. I did also take one of the rubber feet off. Well, and now it won't clunk. To see if there was any screws hidden there. And these were glued on, so I didn't take on any more. So a bit wobbly as well. So we need a screwdriver for the small one. This will do. So I think when I remove all of these, I will be able to take the top off. And that will greatly improve our accessibility and chances, these are small, of getting in and checking what's going on in here. Do a few measurements, see if there's a fuse or something else that has there is the handle here. I'm hoping that the handle is connected to the other plastic, so I don't have to take the handle off. That would be very convenient. This one, I believe the unit by itself was 260 pounds. And I bought it with some solar panels, and that brought it up to at the time it was really cheap. These has come down in price quite a lot. So now you can get a unit like this for about the same amount. That is most likely a little bit better quality than this one. But that said, what I've been able to see from outside, it does not look as if it's poorly built in any way. And probably this unit is kind of built the same way as many of the other units in the same factory, just put in a cheaper box or something. All the tiny screws are out, so top comes off. Awesome! So now we have full access to the board down here, as you can clearly see. So the back comes off, the front with all the connections is a bit more stuck. So, okay. Oops. Why does tables always get so messy in absolutely no time? So we have apparently this connection comes from the battery, and this one goes to the board of them. So, but let's check some stuff. It does look okay inside. All the batteries, which are 18650s, are there, and I see that we can very easily measure the battery voltage right there. So let's do that. Trusty Fluke multimeter right here. Let's put that somewhere where you can see it as well. So it claimed to be at a good voltage when I last had power on it. So let's see what it claims now. Seems that the batteries are at 0, absolute 0. That seems weird. I have taken the connector off. So let's try and measure directly on the batteries. There is 2.5 volts. Is that good or is that bad? Seems low. Seems very low. Okay, I have been removing connections. I want to take the front panel off, and all of the connections has, well, all of the wires going from this circuit board to the front circuit board has connectors that can be taken off, even though they have glued it with some stuff down there, quite a lot of it. But there is this grounding wire here. I think it's the grounding wire. Oh, that's not it. Sorry, that's... Oh, I was just about to sort of the wrong connection off. So it's this one. Earthing. The earth connection. That is not connected with a connector, but just a cable. So now I should be able to take this off. There, those two are now... Oh, you can see the connectors. They have apparently made sure that these connectors are stuck there really well, but they have made it so that you could take the connector off. And I thought that this might be a connector that could be taken off, but that is soldered on there. So yeah. So this is the connector that goes out to the 240 volts. And the rest of it is just the front display and the buttons and the power going out. This is all the DC thing that goes out that way. So awesome. So over here, the battery pack is the bottom one here, and over here is the BMS, and I can kind of see how many connections it has. So it's in here. It says, oh, it would be nice if I could. I think I will cheat and I'll open this up a little bit so we can see it. I do believe I can tape that back on. Let's see. Hey, little knife, where did you go? Right there. Don't cut any of the wires, Morten. Just the tape. There. Well, that's a rather bigger BMS than I was expecting. So it might be ever so slightly more powerful than I was expecting. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wires going in. So that would be like a 25 volt BMS. So it looks like the positive one should be down there and the negative one should be up here. So it says this one is 4 volts and this one is positive. And we have 18.9 volts there. There's a reset button on the BMS. I have not seen that before. Okay, let's measure the voltage coming out of the battery and then try the reset button. Plus and minus. It sees 0.3, so probably the BMS has shut off the battery. Stay there. So let's try. What do I have? Really? Oh, it worked. So now we have 20 volts coming out of the BMS. So the BMS has shut it off. Okay, I have connected the battery unit directly to the battery. Well, actually it goes through the BMS and I'm charging it a little bit. What I think might have happened is that the battery has gotten so much out of balance that that the BMS has shut it down. And it looks like there is some balancing going on right here. So the battery can balance itself, but some of these batteries only balance themselves when they're fully charged. So when you fully charge them up, they will start the balancing, and they will do that by charging the battery, and then they will shut off charging, and then they will discharge the highest cells down to the lower cells. Sometimes they will also just discharge the highest cell a little bit and then charge the whole thing up again, and then discharge the highest cell a little bit and then charge the whole thing up again. It takes forever and ever, and therefore it's a really good idea to charge these battery packs up fully sometimes. Like when it reaches 99%, you will sometimes see that it takes forever to get the last little percent done. And yeah, that might be because of its it balancing. At the moment it's taking in 23 volts, 0.7, and I have restricted it to 3.5 amp, and that is 84 watts. So I know my viewers and you guys are so curious, and this is not for me at all, but for you guys. So I took the front panel off here, removed a whole lot of screws so that you could see I don't care naturally what's on the front of this. So it looks like this, and now that you were so curious, I can also get to see that there doesn't look like there's anything wrong in here. So yeah, probably we will be able to put this back together and it will work just fine. So let's start doing that. Yeah, there's a lot of screws that needs to go back in. Okay, so I decided that I really couldn't be bothered to take this apart again. So what I did is I have soldered on a couple of wires that is in parallel with the switch over here. So I'm gonna bring these wires, which I've taped in the other end, out where I can get to them. Just, well, I'm planning to put them behind the cover with the flashlight. So if this ever dies again, I can just take the flashlight cover off, remove the tape, and short circuit these two, and the BMS should reset again. So yeah, my evil plan to to be lazy and don't want to take this apart again. So I'm starting to put it back together because I can get to all of these wires. The wires. This is the one for the front, and well, this one I can't get to. It's way back here. But as soon as I shut the big one off here, all the battery power will be off, and this one is most like this is battery in. So this is this is battery in and this is battery out, which is kind of weird that this one is that much. Oh, never mind. But these two connections are located so that you can get to them right behind the panel of the flashlight. So take the panel of the flashlight out, which is connected with this little wire, and you can get to everything. So I'm gonna connect everything back up over here, including the earthing cable, which is, it's very awesome that it has one of those. I have no idea what it earths to, of course. Yeah, so yeah, it's not that well grounded, but okay, I'm putting back together. Okay, so I have the cable sticking out the end here, and I have taped my little reset cable to the plastic here. Hopefully that's not going to be needed ever, but well, just to be safe, it's there. So I want to connect the power back to it, so to keep it charging for a little bit, while I put the cover on the front. Put the, what do you call it, the lid on the front. So, and if this should stop charging, we know that something is wrong, but it is charging. Oh, you might not be able to see that. We are too far away. Oh, yeah. The blinking is an illusion. So, it's taking in good voltage, and I'll try and sort out this mess. Yep, lots of screws to go in there. Okay, the top is on. Let's see if we can get this back on. It's not gonna look as pretty anymore. Okay, that's actually not bad. Okay, now I mostly just need to put the cover on after I connect the battery to all the electronics in there. And yeah, it's still taking in good power. I do believe that the bottom tells me, yeah, the battery is 21.6 volt, 568 watt hours. So it's actually quite the unit for the cheapest one on Amazon. Well, the cheapest one on Amazon that could supply 600 watts. I got this one because I wanted it to run the tiling cutter, which it then turned out that it could not do, which was a shame, but that was why I looked for the cheapest one that did 600 watts, and getting one that had 568 watt hours for 219, I think it was pounds. So I think I will now try and connect the connections over here and see if it works. Now we have charged the batteries up a little bit, so hopefully the BMS is not gonna kill me right away. So let's see. Let's put this one in first. Nothing blew up as of yet. Let's put this one in second. So this one, take this cover off and I can charge directly to this one. That would be okay-ish. Get on there. Ooh, yeah. It saw some power. So, oh, moment of truth. Absolutely nothing. Dang it. Okay, that didn't work. That was irritating. So, what is going on? It shut off right away as soon as any power was going out of it. So this is still at 23.65 volts. I did check the fuses in there and nothing. Okay. I tried to connect this plug first and then connect this plug afterwards. Oh, it's stuck. And that did not go well. It makes all kind of sparks and stuff and became all black inside, and now it won't go down into the connector right. So I think this is shorted out, because if I set the multimeter to beep mode and press the, here's beep mode, and I beep these two connections, they are kind of shorted out. So I am connecting something in the front of it, at the front display, that is drawing a lot of power. And now I put everything back together. I think I'm gonna have to call in defeat on this one. I haven't got a clue. Apparently it wasn't the battery that had failed, but the unit itself had failed, and the battery had shut itself off, probably because of the short. Oh, it smells nice and smoky now. It's a bit of a shame. There's a very nice 24-volt battery in here, which can perfectly well be used for something else, but the rest of the unit is a smoking mess and apparently not good anymore. I wouldn't really go and blame the box. If you saw how I took it out of my bunker, where it has been sitting for a year in very, very extremely high humidity, I took the water off the top of it, and at that point it was, funnily enough, it was working just fine. Then I took it out on the lawn and I charged it a little bit, and it took in a charge, and apparently after that it decided that it had had enough. I haven't got a clue what killed it. I haven't used any of this. Well, I did put a flashlight onto one of the USB ports, but just for a second. That wouldn't have killed it. And it has been sitting on the semi-hot radiator to heat it up inside if there was any moisture. I did that before I started messing with it, but yeah, unfortunately it seems very dead. So that's sad. Might do something else some other day and try again, but for now, dead. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.